Hey everyone, I thought it would be a nice idea to share my first test in this whole voxel rage that is coming out in the gaming community. I have to add that what I'm going to show you is some very cheap, lazy, ugly, awful work because the only thing I really did was take a mini voxel engine from the internet that is of course available for free, and it was written for OpenGL, and all I did was to adapt it to the Unreal Engine. I added though a few features like simple texturing, collisions, and a sort of adapted LOD. I have to add that I have absolutely no background in voxel programming or something, so it's just my first test after a few days. So let's hit the play button, switch to English, go to the content section and add a voxel array. So the first thing you can see is that when I'm going very far away from the array, then it becomes a simple square because of I'm maxing the LOD here. And when I come near it, then I will get a little bit of details when I come to the 0 LOD right here. So you can see that obviously there are lots of artifacts and a few problems. Next thing I can show you is by taking a little bit of altitude here. Maybe not so much. I'm going to maybe increase the LOD max, which is just here the logarithm of the dimension of the array. So 6 means just 2 to the power of 6, so means 64 by 64 by 64. So let's go to 128. Here. So the next thing I can do is stop moving my character and instead shifting the origin of the function that I'm using, which is here a simple two-dimensional purling noise. So this is what I'm going to do here. So now my character is not moving anymore, but instead the function is shifting its origin. So now it's going up, giving the impression that I'm landing. And you can see that when I press the forward button, then the origin is shifting to the direction of my player, giving the impression that I'm moving in the terrain, while in reality the origin is just moving, so I'm not moving really. But you can see that using this trick, when I go down here, I can get the illusion of sort of infinite terrain. It's quite ugly because the texturing is not so good, because there are lots of artifacts and glitches, and mostly because the interpolation is here is approximative, and as the function goes smoothly on the axis, the interpolation are changing, giving rise to this ugly fluid effect, sort of. So it's not beautiful. There are lots of problems here, but technically it's an infinite terrain. A more beautiful thing that I can show you is that if I stop ticking here, so let's go back to my regular moves, and if I stop ticking, then the program will compute the whole terrain with the LOD 0. So now I get my whole terrain, my whole purling noise here in all its glory. So it's quite huge. I don't know if you realized, but we're going to put a small character here on the top of this hill. Let's add a character. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that the collisions are alright. I can throw a few dice and they will roll down the hills. Let's have a nice character. Just for the sake of fun, let's go take, for example, a monster and the epic spider, which is quite nice. And you can see if I go a bit far away that the scale of it is quite big. So there are rooms for fun here, obviously. So the next thing I can show you is exactly the same, but in 3 dimensions this time. Let's suppress the character. Delete, select our voxel array again and go for some 3D. Let's go back to ticking first maybe, and go to a 3D Perlin noise. Oh, it's super slow. Sorry about that. Let's go back to 64. Should be a bit better. So here I've got a three-dimensional Perlin noise which can act with those parameters, with the current parameters, as an cave system, cave network. And of course I can use the same trick that I did use previously on the two-dimensional terrains. For example, if I stop moving and instead modify the coordinate of the function, that I get basically an infinite network thing. It's absolutely ugly, naturally, as you can see, but technically it's an infinite cave fractal network. Okay, so let's compute it completely. We are going to go back to a regular move, go back to 7, which will make it nicer, and stop ticking. It will take like maybe 20 seconds to compute. In the meantime, you can show that my texturing is super bad, because what I'm doing is just projecting my UVs on the horizontal plane. So it's nice on the horizontal plane, but you can see that on the vertical plane, obviously this results in a catastrophe. Okay, it's done here. So we can have a little walk or a little fly in this huge network thing. Maybe we can put a character here so you get a sense of the scale of the whole thing. A character. Let's take a nice one. Again, maybe another monster. And the zombie is quite wonderful. Now again, the collisions are okay, you can see here. Let's suppress the dice. And let's take a bit of perspective so you can see how huge this object is. It's quite fun. It's here. Alright, so bye bye little zombie, and let's go back into this network. Okay, so it's huge, it's fun, it's fractal, it's 3D, but it's very far from real time. It takes like 20 seconds to compute. So thank you very much, guys, for your times. I will be very glad to answer any question you might have. I will keep you posted with any progress I make in this field. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye bye.